What's going on, everybody? In this video I'm going to talk about how to identify Aronia or chokeberry. This is Aronia melancarpa. This is the Viking variety. This one's about let's say between 4 and 5 years old. It didn't produce any fruit this year, just a very small crop, but the previous year it produced quite a bit that was able to dry and store, and I actually germinated a lot of those seeds and have new plants coming off of this one. But this video is about how to identify it when there's especially when there's no leaves. So if you're hiking and you see a lot of these plants, or if they're landscaping around your town, you can kind of notice where they are, so that when they are flowering or when they're fruiting, you can come back and harvest. So the main distinguishing factor is, I'll show you two different angles, is this branching pattern that's really unique. You can see it's almost as though like the branches are opposite. I mean, there's a little bit of an offset, but the branches go off almost perpendicular to the ground, completely horizontal, which is really unique. I haven't seen that in many other plants. Let's look at it from another angle. So you can see how a lot of those side branches are completely straight and flat and coming out on either side of a lot of these branches. And if we pull the buds look fairly nondescript, almost kind of look like a serviceberry. If you've seen serviceberry buds before. Flowers in the spring, fairly early. The fruits take a long time to ripen. You can get them by October here. So right now they're usually, actually it'd be like September into October, there'd be some berries left on the bushes, but there's not a lot this year because of the small harvest for some reason. I'm not sure what caused it. The other thing you could tell is I've pruned them off, but usually by the base there's a lot of suckers, sometimes just coming straight up out of the root crown, just these tiny, it looks like the tips of where the buds are down there, they're kind of coming up from the base, and that's because you can propagate this pretty readily by mounding it. You can propagate it pretty readily by mounding up around it and then doing a hard prune. So you like pile up like compost or loose soil around the base, a couple inches up, and then you just hard prune everything on top, and you get all these little suckers coming up out of that mound, and each one of those suckers is going to have a root system on it, so you can divide off of that and propagate that way. But I'm doing it by seed, hopefully developing some new varieties that way. But yeah, you can kind of identify Aronia pretty easily using that technique of just looking for those branches and come back when there's fruit on it later in the season. Okay, hope that helped.